Welcome in to Tuddy Talk, week 6. I'm Devyn. I'm all alone. I'm here at work, so ignore anything that you hear in the background. To start off this week, I need to apologize to, well, at least Eric, because I underestimated him and his team. I put up a whopping 49 points last week, and he did not deserve all of the smack that I was talking. I will chalk that up to being on the Las Vegas Strip. I wasn't in a clear mind, and yeah, I said some things on last week's episode that I guess weren't very true, as we saw. So I'm here to right my wrongs, and let's get into it. Week 6 power rankings. I have number 12, me, Devyn, aka Chris Wheeler, this week. I dropped 6 points because after you put up 49 points, there's no way you come back from that, at least not in the power rankings yet. So down here, I still have Lamar. He put up a bad week last week. What can I say? There's nothing wrong with him. It's his team, and I'm sure he'll put up more 30-point games. I'm not too worried about it. Austin Eckler's coming back. I'm desperate at this point. I need it. That's saying the least. I need him. Bijan, he put up the most points on my team last week with 10. So he's been good. I'm excited to see what else he can do. We can build upon this. That trade is still looking okay. Amon-Ra, he's been hurt. I expect him back on the field. We should be good there. Devontae Smith, another one that he kind of disappeared in the last couple weeks, but that's all right. That's what you expect with Devontae Smith. Zach Ertz, that's my new tight end. David Njoku has been relegated to the bench. Zach Ertz is now my guy on the Arizona Cardinals. So we'll see how that goes. Breece Hall is my new flex. Putting up 30 on the bench, that's disrespectful. I won't have that anymore. On my bench, Roshan, like I said, David Njoku. JSN, I expect him to start breaking out any time now, any day. We're all waiting for it. Kenneth Gainwell, he's fine. Jaleel McLaughlin, though, last week put up, 16 points? I'm happy with his performance last week, but it wasn't great this week, and that's why he will be remaining on the bench. He cannot overtake any of my running backs. IR, I unfortunately had to put my guy James Conner down there. We hope to get him back, but right now it's gonna be a hard one. And then Pinheiro and Pittsburgh are my guys right now. Actually, I just picked up Baltimore, so we'll see how that goes. Oh, and Treylon Burks is also on IR, but nobody really cares about him at this point, even the Titans. So we'll see. At number 11, we have Brittany, a.k.a. Tucker. I hardly know her. QB is Joe Burrow. Alexander Madison and Kyron Williams are your new running backs here. Kind of a big switch in the last 2 weeks. There's a big overhaul, and we'll have to see how this plays out. Unfortunately, you did start out pretty rough this week playing against Tommy. He's already scored 30 points, so good luck there. Chris Olave and Jordan Addison, I like that pairing. Two young up-and-coming receivers. Jordan Addison just had Justin Jefferson go down, so you should be good there. We also, unfortunately, have KJ Osborne, though, in the flex. So 2 Minnesota receivers after the number 1 over there goes down. We'll see. Oh, I didn't even mention 3 Minnesota players with Alexander Madison. So they're just all your eggs in one basket. I guess if there's one basket to put it in, actually, no. The Vikings aren't that great. So I hope you get a win, because I don't want a tattoo. Cole Kmet is your tight end. He has turned it on. I like what I'm seeing from him. So let's hope that he can continue to produce. On your bench, Jordan Love, because Joe Burrow is coming back, and he's looking really good. And also Jordan Love is on a bye, so I guess it's a good idea to sit him. A.J. Dillon, Curtis Samuel, fine players, good bench fillers. Tyler Higbee, and then Washington. Washington's defense is also on your bench. One that I'm not quite sure on is Khalif Raymond. Why didn't you drop him instead of Josh Palmer in your breaking trade recently? That question is one that I guess we'll never know. So, unless you want to talk about it. Your IR is sitting pretty with Anthony Richardson. He should be coming back. Well, eventually. Hopefully he can come back and not get hurt. We all like him. We hope that he can do well. Mike Williams is also there, but that's a year-long thing. You're still standing strong with Justin Tucker and the LA Rams. On to number 10, Scott. Spooky, scary Terry, who's not even starting in your lineup. Why don't you have him starting if you're going to name... That should be something that we do every week. Everybody should have their namesake starting in their lineup because Gifford is guilty of the same thing. I'll get to him later. Anyway, QB, Justin Herbert. I love him. He's a top 10 AZ. I do expect to see more from him, though. He just hasn't shown enough for me. I recently got a trade in the Guillotine League offering Justin Herbert for Joe Burrow. And at this point, from here on out, I don't think they're all that different. I think that Joe Burrow could even outproduce Justin Herbert. Dameon Pierce, Rachaad White, that's a long way away from the running back core you had in the first couple weeks. I mean, I guess it all went into your wide receivers because now you have Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua, and that's great. Honestly, I love that. I love that wide receiver core. Adding Christian Kirk, and I mean that's the number 1B to 1A Calvin Ridley. So that's also great for your wide receivers. Jake Ferguson, he's good. I like him. Usually rookie tight ends aren't great, but Jake Ferguson and a couple others have been solid this year. On your bench, new addition Najee Harris. Is that new? I'm not sure. I'm not going to fact check. Najee Harris is there. He's been pretty mid this year, so hopefully he can turn it around. The whole Pittsburgh Steelers offense has been awful. Terry McLaurin, like I mentioned, Quentin Johnson. I mean, Mike Williams went down. Josh Palmer, Keenan Allen. Those are the competition there. So we'll see if Quentin Johnson can make a name for himself. Cortland Sutton over there in Denver, they look putrid again this year. And it's so sad to see Russ just take a hike, essentially. I'll get there when I talk about Tatani, because we have to talk about that. Amari DeMarcado, Avocado. I don't know, but he is the running back in Arizona. Unfortunately, you got him, and not me. Not unfortunately because it's you. Unfortunately that it's not me. I hope he does well because I have had fun with the Arizona Cardinals this year. Antonio Gibson, nothing. I don't care about him. Just like your IR, Miles Sanders. I don't care about him. He's better than Antonio, but I don't care. Jamal Williams is also on your IR. Cool. Maybe he'll come back. Maybe he won't. We'll see. Alvin Kamara is doing even better out there, so it doesn't matter if Jamal comes back. Nick Folk, New England. Cool. Number 9, a pretty big jump. He went up 3. Oh, I didn't mention, Scott went down 6 from last week, so turn it around, or it's going to continue to look pretty rough. Tommy is up 3, Young Hose. We have Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne. That's a nice 1-2 punch on the Jaguars. They have been, I mean, solid. They've looked really good. And this week they get Tennessee. I don't know. I think they'll run them over. I think it's going to be easy. They'll run away with the victory this week. Joe Mixon, also solid. Travis and Joe Mixon, they're 2 really solid running backs. They're just not elite. That's why you're down here. And then also your wide receivers. They're not great either. Drake London, Michael Pittman. Pittman can have flashes here and there, but he just lost his QB1. And Gardner Minshew, as soon as he plays a couple weeks, defenses lock him down. And unfortunately, that's probably going to be coming soon. Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews. This, I mean, it works and it doesn't. It works because they're 2 great players. It doesn't work because you are very close to last place in this league. Unfortunately, I would look into trying to trade for better receivers. You could probably get 2 decent receivers for either Mark Andrews or Travis Kelce. But I don't know if you want to do that because those are 2 premium tight ends. Jerry Jeudy, just like Courtland Sutton, not doing great down there. He just got called out hardcore. If you guys haven't seen that, look up Steve Smith and his comments. It was rough if you're Jerry Jeudy because they were all valid, and Steve Smith knows what he's talking about. You don't backtalk him. He knows what he means. Tyler Algier disappeared. He's a nothing. Chase Claypool just got traded to Miami. We'll see. But he is like the 5th option there. So probably nothing. Tutu, again, I mean, he just got demoted because Cooper got there. So we'll see if Tutu can put up anything. He kind of disappeared a little bit behind Puka. Zeke and Sky Moore, both, I mean, they'll get a couple touches every game, but are they touches that you want? Not me. Overall, speaking of touches that you don't want, IR, Deshaun Watson, that's all you have to say about him. Koo and Kansas City on defense. Congratulations, number 9, Tommy. At number 8, we have Gifford. Now, I mentioned this earlier, but your name is It's Miller Time, and Kendre Miller is on your bench. Come on, man. Be better. I mean, obviously my name is Chris Wheeler, and I don't have him on my team, but whatever. Kendre Miller should be starting over Tony Pollard. I said what I said. Mark it down. Brock Purdy has been lighting it up. Crazy. Game manager. But he's putting up 35, and it's ridiculous. I hope that he continues to do that for you. Kenneth Walker, Tony Pollard, excellent. Great young running backs. How old is Tony Pollard? I don't know. We'll figure that out later. I won't edit it in because I don't care. Calvin Ridley and A.J. Brown, those are lethal wide receivers for you. This team is great, but they just haven't been able to put it together that much so far. What are you, 3-2? So you're doing okay, but there's like 6 people in this league that are 3-2. So it's not too special. Start separating yourself from the pack, and then we'll talk. Logan Thomas has been quietly a top 5 tight end this year. Impressive. That was a good pickup. I'm impressed. Michael Thomas, fine. Get a better flex, and then I think you'll start to separate yourself from the pack. George Pickens, I've mentioned it before. I don't like him. CJ Stroud, great backup for you. I mean, he's a starter on most teams, but Brock Purdy has been playing lights out. Kendre Miller, I mentioned it. Javonte Williams has been, I mean, just like all of the players over in Denver, not showing up. Christian Watson, I mean, he's good. I don't know. I would probably start him over Michael Thomas at this point. And then your other bench, New York Jets. You are standing strong with Jake Moody, one of the best kickers in the league. So that's cool. Maybe give him back at this point. Las Vegas is your defense this week. Eric, you are number 7. Let them cook. I do find it a little funny that you found Brandon Cooks instead of Dalvin Cook. You replaced them. I see what you did, and I appreciate it. It did not go unnoticed. Jared Goff is your quarterback. Easy. I like him. He's top. He's top up there. I like what I'm seeing out of them. Running back Jerick McKinnon. Not a huge fan, but he explodes some weeks, but that's not really what you want. James Cook has been really, really good, actually. I do like him. Debo and Jamar Chase, that's where your gold is. If Debo can pop off every week, then you are solid down the line. But that's the thing. We don't know who's going to pop off every week in the San Francisco Christian McCaffreys on that team. So, yeah, Jamar Chase had a great game last week. 49 points. Or 48. I think I outscored him, so is he really that good? Evan Ingram is your new tight end 1 because you just got rid of TJ. You also have Kyle Pitts on the bench. So 2 fine tight end options. Evan Ingram, I like him. I've already expressed that to you, so I'm not going to continue. Jalen Waddle is also really good. So that wide receiver core, it's up there with, like, I mean, what was it, Gifford and Scott. You guys all have really good wide receiver cores. On your bench, like I mentioned, Brandon Cooks, and then Geno. Geno's down there. I mean, Geno and Jared Goff, they're pretty average quarterbacks, but that put up some numbers. Tank Dell, I like him, but he's up and down. You never know what you're going to get. Obviously, that there's just a bunch of players that are like that. Kyle Pitts, I mentioned, then Gus Edwards. Baltimore running backs, can't really trust them. I don't know. There's nothing to say over there. On your IR, quietly a big move. Justin Jefferson is now on Let Them Cook. Jamar and Jefferson in what, 4 weeks? He can wait that long. This league is so competitive that everybody is going to be fighting for all those playoff spots. If Eric is able to stay strong with Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, whew, boy. And then, I mean, we're just waiting for Aaron Jones to come back too. He has him on IR as well. Aaron Jones, if he starts producing like he can, and then James Cook, if he takes another step, this team is going to be, they're going to be in the mix for sure. Jason Sanders and Buffalo Bills for your defense. At number 6, we have Tatani. No trust in Russ. What can I say? I mean, Russell Wilson, he started to look okay, put up, 20 points back to back, and then this week put up less than 10. There's nothing really to say except maybe he's done. I haven't said that since he went over to Denver. I was hoping for the renaissance of Russell Wilson and his career, but it just hasn't happened. Josh Jacobs, he's returning to form. He's been putting up great numbers the past 2 weeks. We look for him to continue that. David Montgomery, I was wrong about him. I will say that right now. I was talking him down so much throughout the offseason, and unfortunately for me, he has proven me wrong. So, good pick on that. And then, well, now you have Jahmyr Gibbs, so that's even better for you. CeeDee Lamb and Nico Collins. There has been so much just drama and discourse about CeeDee Lamb over the past week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that. And it's interesting. Do you, as a Dallas fan, think that CeeDee is going to get traded, or do you think he's going to get more looks? Do you think Jerry Jones is going to put the hammer down and bench him? All of them seem to be a possibility, but I mean, I think he's just going to continue playing because he's CeeDee Lamb and you don't really bench him. That would be stupid. Nico Collins, also great, but again, the Texans, they are a young and volatile team. We don't know. George Kittle. Chuba Hubbard is now the starting running back over there in Carolina because Miles Sanders is out this week. So that could be an interesting plug-and-play flex play. So good pickup there. However, I don't know if I would start him over Brandon Ayuk, who is on your bench right now. Matthew Stafford is also on your bench. Unfortunately, well, you can't play him now because Russell Wilson just put up a huge dud. Let's see. Josh Reynolds is now on your bench. I mean, he's been on your bench. Keaton Mitchell, another Baltimore running back. Who knows what's going to go on there? I don't like them. And then Tyjae Spears. He's interesting. He is interesting. Talk about potential there because he has the potential to overtake Derrick Henry in the Tennessee Titans offense. And that is not something that you can take lightly. Tyjae he looks more explosive. He looks more agile right now. And that's the way the game's going. Jahmyr Gibbs, like I mentioned, on IR. Nick Chubb was, I don't know if we talked about it when you actually picked him up, but I don't know if we're doing a keeper league. I don't know, because every year we end up getting different people, so who knows. And then you have Aubrey in Dallas, because you're a Dallas fanboy. At number 5, we have Paris. Harris likes France. She went up 5 points, or 5 spots from last week. Blaine Gifford, he was the one that dropped you that far. At QB, we have Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he just does it week in, week out, whatever. Jerome Ford has been a disappointment since becoming the starter in Cleveland. I'll say that. He did good 1 week, but immediately started looking like, well, the backup, because that's what he is. Devyn Singletary, I mean, I've never been a fan. I have been just down talking him all year already. You've heard what I had to say. Unfortunately, your running backs just got demolished. Khalil Herbert and Devon Achane are both out now. They are both on IR. I wanted to bring that up because both of them are on your bench. They're not in their IR slots. If you just click on them, on the little boxes to change their position, you can put them on IR so that you can pick up more people. I don't know if you know that. I'm just trying to help you out. Chris Godwin, DeAndre Hopkins. D-Hop looked a little youthful last week. That was fun. It's not going to continue. You have a couple older wide receivers, speaking of which. Adam Thielen is also there. I mean, who would have expected that? I have not seen one talking head or pundit say that Adam Thielen was going to be a good wide receiver this year. And he has just proven them wrong. And I love to see it. It's great. It's so fun. Dallas Goedert, he is not proving that he is great because he's just been disappearing from the offense. So who knows if he can come back. Let's see, Amari Cooper. Why is he on the bench? Does he deserve to be on the bench? Honestly, I don't pay attention to Amari Cooper, and that seems to be a through line throughout his career. He's just been really under the radar. He's been great, but just under the radar. I don't know too much about him this year, unfortunately. I really should because I'm hosting a fantasy football podcast, but you can't all be perfect. Jaden Reed, I do like, but I mean, there's a couple people in front of him. The only real relevance that he has is if he outplays one of them, but it's not looking like he's going to this year. Tyler Lockett is on the bench. Unfortunately, that's what happens. There are people that own Tyler Lockett that love to play him every week, and they are the beneficiaries of his 50-point weeks. But they are also the receivers of his 5-point weeks. And it looks like you're taking a gamble. Is he going to get 50 or 5? We'll see. And then, like I mentioned, get Khalil Herbert and Devon Achane on IR. Tyler Bass, San Francisco. Those are your guys. Number 4, up 3 spots, is Sammy and Zach. Last week, I said that I thought you guys deserved to be lower. I am now apologizing because clearly you deserve to be higher, and that's why I put you higher. Kirk Cousins is currently your starting quarterback. I don't know if you're going to keep him there. I mean, for my sake, I would say, yeah, keep him there. Justin Fields is on your bench. They are actually playing each other this week, so we'll see who gets the upper hand. Isaiah Pacheco has been solid. Who would have expected the running back on the pass-heavy Chiefs is going to be a great running back? But he has been. So let's see. Raheem Mostert has been, just fine. He hasn't exploded since that 70-point week, so we'll see. Hopefully he stays down because I don't want to lose. I've been a losing boy lately, and it makes me sad. Stephon Diggs, T. Higgins, and Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers almost got me out of the Guillotine League last year. I know some of you guys are in that league. Or last week, excuse me. And it came down to Josh Jacobs versus Jacoby Myers, and I almost got kicked out. If you've been following that saga over there, it's been crazy. We tied 2 weeks ago, and then last week was a tiebreaker. And it came down, like I said, Jacoby and Josh Jacobs, and I barely eked out a win, and I'm still alive. Just barely. Tatani, trade me. Go ahead and send that trade again, or accept that trade. Let's see. Sam Laporta, he's questionable right now. I don't know if he's going to play, but if he does, he's been top 5, and that's so cool. Jake Ferguson, like I mentioned earlier, is a rookie tight end. that's been doing well, but Sam Laporta is a rookie tight end who has been the number one guy. So great pickup. I have liked him since the beginning of the year when Gifford and I first recorded those rookie tight end rookie tight end episodes. Let's see, Damian Harris, Justin Fields, and well, yeah, those are your two running backs on your bench. I'm not a huge fan of either one. Justin Fields, did I say Justin Fields? I meant Justice Hill, if I did. Justin Fields is your quarterback on your bench. Again, we'll see who you play. Dalton Schultz and Luke Musgrave, two tight ends on your bench, which I guess makes sense now that I think about it because your starting one is questionable. Darnell Mooney, I didn't even see you pick him up, so cool. Evan McPherson and Cincinnati are your guys on the defense and kicker. Number 3, dropping 2 spots because, well, it was lackluster last week. Also, you just lost your best player, Chris, a.k.a. the Milkman this week. Touche there. I like it. It's fun. Jalen Hurts, fine. I mean, not fine. Obviously, he's great. He's the best quarterback in the league. Running back, DeAndre Swift and Saquon Barkley. 2 excellent choices when their teams decide to use them. We'll see if they can continue that. Cooper Kupp came back and lit it up because that's what he does, and we'll see if he can last very long with his ACL right now. DK Metcalf. I mean, I guess that's all it costs to get Justin Jefferson off of you. You were desperate, and I didn't think I would see DK be accepted for Justin Jefferson. That was impressive by Nate, I have to say. Darren Waller has been pretty good. He is also questionable, and that's why you have Gerald Everett and Tyler Conklin on the bench. Keenan Allen, also great. I mean, really, you have fantastic players all around. It just takes those injuries, like I said, with Justin Jefferson, that really killed you last week. But, I mean, that's why you keep on trading. That's all you do. And it's a great strategy. I really like how this league has been trading this year. It's been a lot of fun, despite what Gifford says. I have really enjoyed all of the trading going on. On your bench, you got Mims. I mean, he's been good, but he's a rookie on a bad offense, so I don't know how long you want to keep him around. Salvon Ahmed, he's on the best offense in the league, but he's also, the second string now because Devon Achane is out. And then you got Matt Breida. I don't care for him, but it doesn't matter. What do I know? Gerald Everett, like I mentioned, and then Rico Dowdle. This guy has been on and off your bench all season long. I'm curious to know what you see in Rico Dowdle because I don't see much. Are you just waiting for Tony Pollard to get hurt? Because that's what it feels like. Let's see. Jeff Wilson is on your IR, and then you got Brett Maher and Miami for your defense and kicker. Let's see. Number 2, staying in the same spot as last week, we have R.I.P. Kyler, Apple. Tua, CMC, Alvin Kamara. Those are your guys. We know that. And, they're solid. That's as good as you get, really. You probably could get better, actually. And then at wide receiver, you have Hollywood Brown, who has been understated this year. I did not expect Hollywood to be this good with Dobbs. And I'm really, like I said earlier, I'm excited. I've had fun with this Arizona Cardinals offense. Mike Evans is, he's doing Mike Evans things. He is a bit of an older man now, but he's still putting up numbers. So that's great. Hunter Henry is awesome. Let's see, Zay Flowers. I'm still waiting for him to break out a little more. He has been really good for what it's worth. That offense hasn't been really good at all. So every little bit counts, I guess. Garrett Wilson, unfortunately, he is a bust now this year, unless he can turn it around. But at the moment, he is in bust status. Hopefully, Zach Wilson can either turn it around or get benched really soon. Romeo Dobbs, Cam Akers, Ramondre Stevenson, all of these guys, I somewhat avoided. I mean, I did have Romeo Dobbs, so I can't really say that, but I kind of avoided them during the draft because I figured they would kind of be middling, and that's what they've been. So, uh, take that as you will. Keontae Ingram, interesting play. Um, I mean, it's not really a play because he's on your bench. And then last, Jameson Williams just got picked up today, and I'm a little upset at, well, myself and others in the league. I didn't think that he would still be on the bench, so I didn't even look. And that's my fault. I haven't been paying attention to the league as much as I should, especially with 12 people and 12 active people. So that's my fault, and that's everybody else's fault if Jameson starts going off. Hopefully he doesn't because Amon-Ra's there. IR, Deontay, and Kyler Murray. Are you ever going to change that out? I mean, Kyler is getting replaced by Dobbs. And then Jake Elliott and New Orleans. At number 1, we have Nate. He moved up 2 places, and that is solely because he continues to make these trades that just elevate his team every week, and it's just crazy. Every time I see my phone and it pops up with Too Fast, Too Felonious made a trade, something in my brain goes haywire because I don't know how he keeps doing it because I've been blackballed by the league for trading. So I don't know how that hasn't happened yet for you. Anyway, I guess I should get to the players. Josh Allen is your quarterback. Excellent. Running back, Jonathan Taylor. Not yet excellent, but he will get there because, I mean, that's what he does. Jonathan Taylor will be fine. He's just getting eased back in. Derrick Henry. That one's a question mark for me. He will, I think, continue to put up 15 points every other game. And unfortunately, you can't predict that. But, I mean, he's got a name. So, and then wide receivers, DJ Moore broke out, last week? Yeah, last week. He outscored me last week, which is sad to say. But it happens. So we all have to face reality sometimes. At flex, you have one of my favorite players in the league, Gabe Davis. TJ Hawkinson is your new tight end. So cool pickup there, one of the top tight ends. And then, I didn't even mention Tyreek. You don't have to because there's nothing to say. He continues to put up points even in bad weeks for Miami. So, whatever. I don't even care, really. Doesn't even matter. Brian Robinson is on your bench. On most teams, he'd be starting. So, be happy with that. Jaylen Warren, we're still waiting on Najee to get, hurt or benched. But, all signs point to Jaylen Warren. Let's see. Zach Charbonnet. I didn't really like him on Brittany's team. I don't know why I would like him over here. Deontay Foreman, good insurance, I guess. Jahan Dotson, I liked him in the pre-draft, but, he hasn't really shown much at all. So we'll see how that goes. Elijah Moore, another one that we kind of expected him to do a little bit better, but, the Browns have just been awful, and now they have a backup quarterback. Harrison Butker is your kicker, and, of course, Philadelphia is your defense. That's number 1 on the power rankings, Nate. Congratulations. And that was power rankings. I think I got through pretty quick, but let me know how I did. Did I put you in the wrong place? Let me know. Next up, we're going to go over to, I'm going to go over to predictions. Let's see. Week 5, I had Devyn, Gifford, Chris, Nate, Tat, and Apple. And unfortunately, that put me at 3-3. I believe Gifford also had the exact same one, so he also went 3-3. I am now at 19-11, and Gifford is at 15-15. Still a long way to go, but it's looking like it's me right now, which is great for me. It gives me a little bit less anxiety about that. This week, I am going to pick me. I believe I'm playing Sammy. I'm going to pull that up. Just give me a sec. I am playing Sammy, and I am going to win there. Gifford also picked me. And let's see. Next up, Brittany versus Tommy. I went ahead and chose Brittany because she is my ride or die, and I have to pick her to win one, right? Even with a 32-point deficit. So let's see. Gifford went the smart way, took Tommy. Let's see. Next one, Scott versus Tatani. I went with Tatani this week, and Gifford went with Scott. So another toss-up. We'll see how that ends up. Next up, we have Gifford versus Paris, and it looks like both of us went for Gifford this week. Sorry, Paris. I know I put you higher than Gifford. I really should have picked you, but I guess I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Let's see. Up next, we have Eric versus Apple. And in that one, I picked Apple because Eric made a fool of me last week, and I need redemption. Help me, Apple. You're our only hope. Gifford also picked Apple. So last, we have Chris versus Nate. I went ahead and picked Nate, and Gifford chose whoever you didn't pick. So he is going with Chris this week. This is a battle of the Titans. Unfortunately, Justin Jefferson is not part of this, but I mean that's what swayed me over to Nate. I think had Justin Jefferson been there, I would have chosen Chris, but at this point, I have to go with the less injured team. All right. Well, let's move on to our competitions. Week 5, we had the competition photo finish, which was won by Sammy and Zach. That is their second win in a row, so let's not let them have this one. How about that, team? This week is going to be biggest blowout. So whoever wins by the most amount of points, the largest margin of victory, will be the winner of the $10 this week. Good luck to everybody in the league. I guess that's really all I have to say this week. I should probably get back to work. And actually, I should probably upload this because we don't have a lot of time before next week. Or before this week, I guess, before the games start in the morning. So I'll stop rambling and go ahead and upload this. I'll see you in week 7.